I heard a great quote the other day, and I can't quite remember it, but it was something like, any fool can go around pointing out things that are wrong. Or maybe it was, any fool can go around criticizing other people. It's true, isn't it? We can all criticize other people very easily, and I've definitely done a lot of that in my time. I'm a hyper-critical person, very judgmental. And in reality, what has served me best in recent years, and which I think serves most people, is we need to sort ourselves out. We need to look at our own flaws, our own failings, and get to grips with them before we go around criticizing other people and the way they do things. Because if we can't master our own behavior, our own self, then how can we expect other people to master theirs? And so this morning I was checking the news, as I do first thing in the morning over a cup of coffee. I like to look at the newspaper headlines. They're usually quite funny, and I see Boris Johnson, who I've had some appreciation for in the past. I like his sense of humour, I like his way with words. His ideas maybe less so sometimes, but certainly as a style, I quite like that style. Oh, sunshine's beautiful. And what did he do? Well, he gave the world leaders a lecture on climate change. And he referred to the planet, he compared it to being something like strapped to a doomsday device that was about to end humanity as we know it, and so on. A very, very kind of doomsday speech, talking about suffocating the planet in a blanket of CO2 and so on. And what did he do hours later, according to one newspaper? Don't know if it's true, but I'm assuming there's some truth in it at least. He took a private jet from Glasgow back to London to go have dinner with a climate skeptic friend. And as cynical as I can be sometimes, they never fail to astound me. And so maybe Boris needs to sort himself out and get control over his own behaviours, because after all, he can't expect the rest of us to eat less meat and travel less and live less sustainably, unless he can. And this can be said for practically every single individual who attended that conference. There may be some exceptions, of course. Maybe some of them took trains and so on. I'm sure Greta probably took a train. But Leonardo DiCaprio, he was there. I've no idea what expertise he has on climate change, the man with several private jets and mansions and swimming pools and so on. But he flew over to Glasgow. I know he is the United Nations climate change ambassador, but still, I don't think he has any particular expertise to contribute to this. And yet here I am, aren't I? Here I am. Have you noticed the irony? I started off by saying we need to sort ourselves out before criticizing other people, and see how easily, in less than 3 minutes, I've slipped from that very positive intention into slagging off Bojo and slagging off Leonardo DiCaprio, and I could add a whole host of other names to that. There we are. So let's not worry about what other people do sometimes. Well, we should worry about what they do because we might have some influence over them, but let's not get too agitated. We have no control over the behavior of others. We might have a bit of influence, and even then it's extremely limited. The only thing we can change is ourselves, our thoughts, our beliefs, our behavior, our standards, and whether we uphold those standards. And we should worry about those first. And this is not a new idea, not a new idea at all. I do like to read a bit of philosophy and a little bit of religion. And there's a religious quote. I'll probably absolutely crucify this. There's a pun. Jesus, didn't he say something like, we worry too much about the speck of dust in our neighbour's eye and not enough about the log in our own, or something like that. So yeah, we should worry about what we do rather than others. And so I'm not going to worry about what Bojo does. I'm going to focus on what I do and whether I live as sustainably as I can. And I'll tell you what, I am a man of many flaws. Like most people, I've got more flaws than qualities. And I don't think my sustainable or unsustainable way of living is my greatest flaw in the grand scheme of things. I do think I have bigger fish to fry, personally. One of my issues has been, I've worked in health and safety since 2001 now, and I've been working in IOSH and NEBOSH training. I've worked for a lot of IOSH NEBOSH e-learning providers, either as an employee or as a contractor kind of thing. And I've never held the industry in high regard. So I thought all the e-learning courses out there are pretty boring, pretty dull, dry, very text-based, no personality whatsoever. And they're not courses that you would ask your staff to do. And I thought, that's a crying shame, because the e-learning has so many advantages. And for years, I whined about this. For years privately, I used to slag off the whole industry. And then a couple of years ago, I thought, you know what, instead of worrying and slagging off what other people are doing or what they're not doing according to my own standard, why don't I just do it myself? So that's what I've been doing for the past couple of years, making IOSH and NEBOSH courses, which are fun, interactive and engaging, and it seems to work. But I'll tell you what I've learned. I now know why the industry doesn't do that, because it's hard. It's really bloody hard. It's hard to make the courses. Yeah, it can take 6 months to make quite a short course. So I know that takes time. It costs money, costs an absolute fortune. I now know why they don't do it, because it's a huge gamble. It might not be financially viable to do it that way. And then selling the courses is also a challenge as well. It's a challenge I've been getting to grips with, and that's not easy either. So I'll tell you what, for all the bad stuff I've said about others in the e-learning industry who are making pretty boring rubbish courses out there, I'll tell you what, hats off to you for making successful businesses with turnovers of millions of pounds. You have my full, utmost admiration and respect, each and every one. I say that genuinely from the depths of my heart, and I take it all back. I know why you've done what you've done. I completely understand. Now, I'm not going to change course. I'm going to have a damn good crack at it myself and see if I can make it financially viable. Might well fail. We'll have to see, but at the moment it's going pretty well. So there we are. Anyway, peace everyone.